This is Scott the Fix It Guy. Today we're dealing with a Frigidaire washer, dryer, laundry center, and the washing machine won't spin and won't agitate. So my suspicion is that the belt broke. So I'm going to remove two Phillips head screws here at the bottom from the front panel, and these just will zip out. And then take a standard head screwdriver and push it in between the top and push down, and that'll release that front panel. We can get it out of the way, and then just want to look in there to see if the belt has fallen off. Make sure you've got it unplugged, because you don't want to have this thing start spinning when your hand is in there. So this one, the belt did break at some point, so we're going to just pull out the old belt, and then to put in the new one, we're going to push it in underneath the motor and the motor pulley and the idler wheel, and it's kind of a tight squeeze. So to get it in there, what you should do is push up on the entire tub with one hand to create a little space, and then push that belt in underneath the motor pulley and the idler pulley, and then you can push it in underneath the transmission pulley. That's the big one in the middle. Just take your time. So you want to try to get it to go over the motor pulley and the idler pulley, and then you're going to push it over the big pulley, and as you get it over the big pulley, you're going to turn that wheel clockwise. So you're turning it with one hand as you push with your other hand too on the smaller pulleys until it feeds itself over the big pulley. So you always start with the little pulleys and then push it over the big pulley. It's spring loaded, so it'll kind of self feed. Just take your time and it'll get on there, and just confirm that it's on all three of the pulleys. And then when you plug it in and set it for spin, you can test it to make sure that it's doing everything correctly. So these just tend to break maybe around the 7th or 8th year, depending on the amount of use, and they're pretty easy to just pop a new one on. So we're just testing it now, and when you set it for spin, it'll take a little while before it starts to spin. It'll drain for I think 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then the motor will kick in. To put the front panel back on, you just push it into position, and then you want to get it to go back up. And to do that, I put a standard head screwdriver underneath it, and then I use the screwdriver to give me leverage to push the panel back up so it locks into the little tabs at the top. There's also slots on the sides. You got to make sure that they lock in, and then while it's locked in and pushed up, you put in the two Phillips head screws. Sometimes I keep the standard head screwdriver underneath there for leverage while I'm putting in the screws. So it's a pretty easy, fast procedure. Just again, make sure it's unplugged before you start putting your hand underneath that motor, just to be safe. Sometimes these are a little rusted, so take your time to get the screws back in. Putting a little oil on the screw will help on the threads. There we go, and that's all done. Hope this has been helpful, and please subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. Thanks a lot.